tell you what I'm not surprised at, and that, of course, today's Super Bowl commercials. I'm not surprised because I'm not impressed. I don't care about the commercials as a whole anymore. I just really want to see the movie stuff. That's all I really care about. And this time, we had a bunch of studios boycott it because they didn't really have anything coming out. You know, I mean, Wonder Woman, you could sit there and say that the Tide ad with her, they clearly just took a shot from Wonder Woman 1984, and then they put Charlie Day as a reverse for a 15-second spot. I mean, that doesn't count. Fast 9 had a 30-second spot that showed off a few more things. They showed off the little thing for No Time to Die, which gave us a couple more scenes and a little bit more intrigue. That was actually okay. The Minions, The Rise of Gru, which I could give a crap about because that I just didn't care for. I don't care for the Despicable Me franchise at all. I didn't like Minions. The only one I really liked was Despicable Me 2, and 3 was okay. I've seen them. And maybe Minions 2 will be better because Minions 1 was pretty bad. But it still grossed $1 billion. So obviously this one's going to pull in $1 billion as well. I don't think that's going to change. You know, I don't think it's going to migrate any differently. I think it's all going to stay the same. So we have that. And then, but the big one of the night was Black Widow, which I thought was boring. If I'm being fair, I thought the Black Widow trailer was boring as sin. And I say that because when you look at that trailer, it shows you really nothing new. And it had action in the very beginning of it, and then that was really about it. A couple more scenes with like Helena and, Florence Pugh, which that might be Helena. Or I forget the name of all the characters, But it was 30 seconds and it was kind of pointless. It was just kind of okay. Like nothing about it got me. Nothing about it wowed me. I will say, though, probably one of the things that wowed me the most, if anything did, would definitely be the big game spot for Marvel here, right? For the Disney Plus, where we gotta see all this stuff, And I think that would be something that ultimately I would like to see more of. Actually, hold on, let me remove that. Let me bring that back up here. Make sure we have sound. We can watch this real quick since Disney's actually okay with you watching their content on the stream, unlike Sony, which is not that at all. So let's take a look here at the 30-second spot to get an idea for what exactly is going to be going on, because this shows us what's coming from Marvel later on this year. This is really later on this year, I think. Well, not entirely, but two of the three are definitely later on this year. But there's one glaring omission that I'm surprised nobody's talking about. But let's take a look here.
It's time.
Wanda, welcome home.
Vision residents.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
And that's it. that is everything. So we can take a quick look here. What I liked was this shot with the shield and the tree. Here's the thing too. You can tell that there's budgets in this. You can tell that they put money into this series, right? They're shooting it right now. This is clearly a very quick teaser that they threw together, and I'm surprised they were able to make it look this good in the process for that 30-second spot. But just seeing Cap shield, it's stuck in the tree. Then of course, Sam here goes and he's like pulling it out, and we see him. This is like the shot right beforehand where he is testing it, where he's trying to learn how to control it. I like that quite a bit. Then we get the shot here of what appears to be, well, we see him, and then there's that quick shot of him. So we do get more of the Falcon. And I was talking with a viewer today, longtime viewer, and he's like not happy about the show. He doesn't like the show at all. He thinks it's a bad idea to not give us more time with Falcon before making him Captain America. But I mean, obviously there's this shot here where we've got USA Agent and he's got the shield, and this is going to be, you can see like the logo right there of the new Captain America logo, and this is going to be his big reveal that's going to be there and everything else. So we already know this is going to kind of be coming. So I get that entirely. But what I like though is we got the shot here of Bucky. He's got a gun pointed at what appears to be Zemo. We don't quite. Oh no, it is Zemo. The coats match up, but there's a glove there. Look at that glove and the bullets, and we don't know who that is yet. So that should be that should be pretty interesting. I think that's kind of cool. Then of course we got this shot here of Paul Bettany as Vision, which is absolutely awesome. I want to see. Let me back that up. You know, I mean, this is a weird thing when you look at WandaVision and what they're doing with WandaVision and how they're turning it into a sitcom this year. Obviously, is more like the Dick Van Dyke Show with the aesthetic on that one. It's very much going to be like a half-hour sitcom. Think like the shorter episode lengths, like Mandalorian and whatnot, given the budget and everything. We see here, but we see like this one here is more of like a sitcom. You know, it's just like a sitcom. But there's also the quick shot of her. It's very, very fast. It's hard to do. You know, again, we see it the Dick Van Dyke type stuff. Again, like more like a Brady Bunch type aesthetic. You can see the outfit there is more like the 70s. And then Vision Residence, and it's more like the 1950s. So it looks like it's going to be jumping through a bunch, and everything else. Now we got this shot here, and we see the two pacifiers. So obviously they're pulling out the twins. And this looks more like I mean, look at his outfit here, like Vision's outfit. This is like a step-by-step, the Connors or Roseanne or, you know, Family Matters, or any of those sitcoms that are going to have like the parents dealing with two kids. So the question then becomes like, is this all going to be in Wanda's mind, or is this going to manifest itself in some fashion that's going to be used in the future? And again, this is the twins right here, the dual cradles, the pacifiers. People are losing their minds over this. They're loving it so much. So that should be really interesting to see what's going to happen with that in the future. Then we've got just the Loki bit right here, where it's just him in TW or TX. I'm not too sure what the uniform there is, but it does look like a prison uniform. And he is captured somewhere and has to break himself out. So that should be a fair amount of fun to see Loki kind of being Loki again. It's been a long time since we've got an evil Loki, and that's either going to be real good or real bad. I don't quite know yet, if I'm being fair. I don't quite know yet. And that's really about it. That's just the Disney Plus. Now, here's the glaring omission. Where is What If? Where is What If? Now, I know that they were showing off 3 shows in 30 seconds and they had to cut it down real tight. I get that. I understand that completely. But what I am not a giant fan of is the fact that it does come across like they very much don't, you know, that they cut that part out of it. But it's like, where is What If? We haven't seen an update on that in quite some time. There's been like a little trailer that's come out, a little thing that's come out. We know a little bit about it, but that's about it. So I'd really love it if they were able to give us something that was a bit more interesting, that was a bit more intriguing on that front. But otherwise, showing us, you know, Loki, just that little shot there, obviously is going to get people hyped up. The WandaVision stuff looks pretty wild, and I like the different aesthetics that it's kind of going from 1950s to 1970s to 1990s in the sitcom era. And that should be pretty interesting to see how that all plays out over the span of 6 like half-hour episodes. And of course, what I'm interested in the most is Falcon and Winter Soldier, because I love those characters and I want to see that type of story continue. And I think that's the one that's going to have probably the most intrigue and probably the highest budget so far. So that should be a lot of fun. But otherwise, there wasn't a lot coming out of the Super Bowl commercial-wise that I felt that was great, which is a bit of a downside simply because, you know, you'd like there to be more. But I think honestly, these studios, they realize that putting money in traditional advertising is just not as worth it anymore. You know, they could just release the trailers online and people would flock to it right now if there's something new to watch, you know? So it is what it is, but I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this one. How did you feel about the trailers? Definitely let me know that down in the comment section. I want to know more about that one.